Greetings and welcome to an LGR thing, and this is the Epson Photo PC. First introduced at the tail end of 1995 and marketed into and throughout 1996 at a suggested retail price of $499 US, making it not only the first digital camera from Epson, but the first color digital camera under $500 on the consumer market. Intriguingly, this was actually developed by Sanyo and then just licensed out to different companies, Epson being one of them, and another being Sierra Imaging, releasing it under the SD640. But yeah, this Epson is the one that we'll be taking a look at throughout this video because I found it at a Goodwill a while back and found it instantly intriguing. I probably just haven't paid much attention, but whatever. I think Epson, I think printers, and that was maybe why they wanted to get into this in the first place. I mean, why not sell you a digital camera to go along with your Epson printer? And yeah, they were advertising them side by side with their color inkjet printer selling for $449, and yet digital cameras, they were just super new and exciting and crazy at the time. The fact that you could take pictures and have them go directly into your computer, you don't have to get them developed and scanned and whatever else. It was just amazing to me. I was 10 years old when these things were coming onto the market, and first time I saw them displayed at a Best Buy, I was just whoa, how does that even work? As a result, these earlier digital cameras intrigued the crap out of me, so let's take a look at this one. After all, it's the quick, easy way to bring pictures into your computer. Yes, into your computer. And the system requirements were pretty modest. Just needed a 486 with Windows 3.1 or higher, and the most standard of standards, the RS-232C serial interface. And man, this mid-90s digital camera marketing, just imagine what you can do! Seriously, you've got to imagine it, because this is new territory for most people. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but what do you do with the digital camera? Well, they provide a handy list of ideas on the side of the box. Letters, presentations, reports, proposals, flyers, invitations, desktop, and internet publishing, holy nuts. For half a grand, I mean, that's a bargain. And check out these specs. 24-bit color images at 640 by 480 or 320 by 240 resolution, and it could hold up to 16 or 32 of those images respectively. And yes, this has its own internal memory, 1 megabyte of storage. As you can see on the other side of the box here, this is the 1 megabyte memory version. This could actually be expanded with memory modules up to 4 megabytes, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and unbox the box itself and see what we get inside here, which starts out with a nice little plastic bag full of paper goodies. And of course, the camera and the cable, and in my case, some batteries. Back to the plastic baggie though, and inside of that you get a little strap that has seemingly never been installed on this camera, and I don't really care for straps anyway, so it's going to stay unattached. You also get a rather substantial instruction manual here covering everything from how to set it up, to how to take friggin' pictures, to best practices for this particular type of camera, because, I mean, it's an early digital camera, it's mighty restrictive in terms of what you can and can't do, and lighting and shooting conditions and all that kind of stuff. Next up is a packet of the Photo PC software called Easy Photo, and this comes on 2 floppy disks to get the actual camera connected and communicating with your computer, as well as some software to quote-unquote develop your pictures, and we'll see that more in a little bit. There's also this little card in here reminding you to remove the plastic cling film. Yeah, don't forget to give yourself that pleasure. And there's an important reminder here about serial baud rate, among other things. And yeah, that speed in particular, you do want it to be as fast as possible because serial ain't quick. There's also this fold-out thingy here showing all of the accessories that they had provided by Tiffin. And yeah, I mean, you've got filters and cleaning kits and UV protectors and conversion lenses and tripods and cases and holy crap, all sorts of stuff available for its 37mm lens. And then there's this piece of paper, which I just love. This is the original receipt from the person that bought it before me back in the day, apparently in December 13th, 1997, for $250, half price. And they got it from America Online. Why? I don't remember them selling digital cameras, but maybe they had some sort of promotion going on. I mean, apparently they did. Yeah, enough of the paperwork. Let's get on to some of this hardware stuff. So you got the serial cable right there. It's just a standard 9-pin serial connector. and in this case, it came with these old batteries. Yeah, they are long dead, but it just amused me to see these again. I remember those little testers on there that you had to press ridiculously hard to show the battery capacity. And finally, here is the Photo PC camera itself. It's a little bit bigger than like a standard 35mm point and shoot of the time, just a little bit wider. And the on-off switch is down here in the bottom right, which will slide the cover on and off of the lens. And it is indeed a fixed lens. You can't do any zooming or anything like that. Autofocus from 2 feet to infinity with an ISO equivalent to 130 and an f-stop of 5.6. Not terribly great stuff, but you know, it works. Along the top here is where you have the so-called Easy Touch LCD. No, it's not a touch screen, just silly marketing. And on the side here, you have this little door that slides down to show the serial connection, as well as somewhere to plug in the optional power adapter. Along the bottom, yeah, it's pretty much what you'd expect, just a place to screw in a tripod and some model and product information, codes and numbers and things. And along the back, you get a viewfinder and a place for your thumb, and that's it. There's no screen to look at what you're shooting on this thing. And then there's this little rubbery deal on the side which completely comes off in a couple of different ways. The first way is to get to the battery compartment, and that's why it has such a wide area here on the front to fit 4 AA batteries. And then another compartment opens up, and here is where it gets a little interesting. This is the spot for the expandable memory. And this is flash memory. In this case, 1 megabyte is permanently installed in there, and there's a slot for another stick of flash memory from 2 megabytes to 4 megabytes. Epson was really pushing this at one point. They called it the Photo Span memory module. The thing is, this was ridiculously expensive. From what I can gather, the 2 megabyte module is like $300, and then the 4 megabyte one was around $600. Well, I don't know about you, but I am more than ready to try this thing out. So you power it on right there, and the little LCD at the top turns on. And this basic little display, it's like an inch across, and it just tells you a few different things with these buttons that can be used to switch between high res, quote unquote, and low res, and then a button for the self timer. This right here just lights up a little red light in the front of the camera to let you know that it's about to take a picture. There's another button here to switch between the flash modes. That would be the flash in the front of the camera, not the memory. And then there's a button to delete the last taken picture. That's right, only the most recent picture. If you want to do anything more than that, you got to plug it into a computer. And of course you have the shutter right there, so you just press that down and take a picture, and it takes a picture. And notice that nice little gold reflective bit on the front of the viewfinder there. You can actually see your reflection quite well and take selfies that way. And yeah, once you take a picture, it will show the number of pictures currently stored on there. And as you can see, pressing it to take a picture and then the time it takes to actually store it to the flash memory is a little substantial, especially on the quote-unquote high-res 640 by 480 mode. And yeah, it really is just that simple. Point and shoot. The viewfinder itself even doesn't give you much of any information at all. There's no range finding, or it just gives you those little brackets to kind of give you an idea of what is going to be in frame for your picture, and that's all you get. Then when you're ready to get your pictures onto the PC, you turn it off, flip that little thingy down and plug in the serial cable, and then you're ready to go and plug it into your COM port on your PC. Yeah, you gotta love that traditional serial bus. This was the days before the universal serial bus, so no USB when this thing launched. Most cameras were using plain old serial. Once you get the Photo PC software installed, you can go into this camera controls settings program here, and well, here's where you do all the other stuff that you can't actually do on the camera itself. Like use it as the world's slowest and crappiest webcam. Change the auto shut-off time, the shutter speed, and the date and time of the actual pictures you're taking, as well as the connection speed for your serial port. And yeah, the Photo PC software itself is also very simple. You just click the button, and as long as everything is configured correctly, it will grab the photos from the flash memory of the camera, and then very, very slowly copy each one of them over to your hard disk. And there you go, you're free to do whatever you want to do with your brand new digital photos. Ooh, what are you gonna do with all those non-megapixels? Anything you want, including some basic brightness and color correction and even spot removal tools in this program. And yeah, I've had a lot of fun just taking this around and shooting photos. I especially enjoy using older digital cameras like this to take photos of things and environments where you can't really tell when the photo was taken. You know, finding things from the mid-90s, the 80s, or whatever really gives a convincing effect when you take photos with this thing. There's something about its particular noisy, low-res, washed-out style that I quite enjoy. And the fact that this one in particular actually does have some pretty decent color reproduction for a digital camera of this time period, you know, it's neat. Not bad, Epson and Sanyo from the mid-90s, not bad at all. And that's pretty much it for the Epson Photo PC. I hope you enjoyed this look back at one of these earlier digital cameras. It's certainly not the oldest thing around, heck, it's not even the oldest digital camera that I have, but it's one that I find really easy to use and kind of fascinating with its built-in flash memory. There were many more photo PCs later on. I haven't used any of those, so I don't know. I'm assuming they only got better or whatever, but this one in particular, being the first of its kind, stands out to me because of that, and I hope that you enjoyed watching. And if you did, then perhaps you'd like to stick around and see what else is coming along here on LGR. There are new videos every Monday and Friday on all kinds of topics, retro tech and software and gaming related, and who knows what else, because I'm always trying to evolve what the heck I'm even doing here, because I don't know. With that being said, as always, thank you very much for watching.